Alrighty. Don't want to give people what they want to see later. You know. Mm. All right. Am I live? Am I good to go? Am I okay to talk about the video game? All right. Well, hello, people. I am Foxy
Hello.
Jiro. Hello, world. Yeah. Hi. I'm Foxy Jiro. This is Death's Door. It's an indie like action RPG made by Titan Souls. Acid Nerve, who also made Titan Souls. Excuse me. It's a pretty quick run, about an hour long. We are a crow who's going to do some reaping. You know, death and all cool stuff. I guess save the planet. Why not? Cool. But that's really about it. I'll talk about the run as we go. I have Happy by 3 here with me. He was doing commentary. Happy, how many runs have you done of this game? Less than 50. All right. That's still a lot. Like, less than 50s, I don't know. As long as it's not like less than 50 is equal to 3 or something like that. I don't know. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, so we're going to do the any percent, which is pretty, yes, it's a nice video game. But yeah, we're going to be doing any percent current patch. So basically, we're still going to break the game with glitches, but it's not going to be a little bit as, or at least I would say as broken as 1.0 or the base patch. So we'll get started. I'm ready to count down whenever you are, Happy. Oh, we might be missing Happy, which is not good. That's weird because I can hear him just fine. Technical difficulties. It's fine. We started early anyway, so worst comes to worst, the run actually starts at 7:20 like it's supposed to be planned, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled activities. So, wait, has anybody in chat got questions about the game so far? Yeah. Yeah. My audio. Oh, that is it. Because I'm just using the game audio, not All right. Well, I do have the one player audio delay, runner one audio, couch 1, 2, and 3 audio, and host audio on OBS. Yay, technology. Am I right, chat? Yeah, go ahead and say something, Happy. All right, yeah. Yeah, you are not there. What's your couch link for can you just give me your URL and I'll just slap it in here? We're, we're about to go rogue. We're going rogue. Where no marathon has gone before. Whoever's got it. Okay, whoever can send it fastest. All right. All right, it is in Discord. I will adjust my properties to be this. All right, say something to me, Happy. Talk to me. No. Nothing. Dang it. Isn't this nutty? Huh. Wow. Oh. I can hear him now, not where it matters. Big old F in chat. All right. Yeah, I updated the URL. See whatever that one was. Double check it again. Yep, HTTP. Yeah, that's what I have. It's just the couch one. Mm. All right, let me grab this again. We'll try one more time. Properties. Delete. Okay. Happy, say something to me. Speak to me. Hey, there he is. Okay.
Yeah?
We're doing it, except I can hear you twice.
Oh.
Wait, let me do this. Properties. Da 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 da. Where's the audio? Advanced audio properties. Oop. I want. Oh God. Monitor off. Couch one audio. Well, that's weird. I can hear you with monitor off.
Oh. Are there still two of me?
There are still two of you.
Are there two of me in Twitch? That's the important thing.
That is the important thing.
Because I can hear myself right now, which is harrowing, but as long as it sounds right to the people on stream, I'll deal with it.
I prefer not to talk to two of you.
No, that's fair. One of me is a lot.
Yeah, there's robots in chat. All right. And the thingy. Where's the video? Okay. All right. Well, now I can't hear anything. Okay. What is happening? Wait, that might have fixed it. Wait, say something again. No. Okay, I don't know. Something's wrong again. I don't know. Yeah. Well, now you're just not even showing up on the audio in OBS. Woo! not now you're just not there, and I can hear you twice. This is amazing. No, it's fine. Okay, three. I'm leaving the video. Okay. Should I delay my audio? To just capture everything. Okay. Okay, and I'll delay it 10 seconds. All right. Oh, you've already got the delay. Should I delay my audio? Just capture everything. Okay. Audio input capture at existing. Oh my God, this is gonna. Okay. Okay, and I'll delay it 10 seconds. All right. Oh, you've already got the delay. Specific window. Discord. Okay. Okay. Audio input capture. Now. Existing. Oh my God. This is gonna. There's audio here. Okay. Crazy. Happy you there, bud?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Window. Discord. Okay. Now. Hey, there's audio here. Crazy. Happy you there, bud?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yes. Okay. And you're
apparently there's two of you, so I'm guessing you might still be in the video.
In the video, I probably am.
Two outputs. That should do it. What's better than one Fox? Two. Ooh. Really, the more the merrier. So we were gonna count down. I think now we can count down. Chat.
I closed out a video. No. Here, let me do this.
Oh, Anne says we only had one of them in chat. Said nope, we lost him. Yeah, your audio is not coming through.
Oh God, this is wonderful. Okay. What?
Oh, Anne says we only had one of them in the end.
So all right, cool. I believe. I believe in a thing called love. All right, we're counting down, people. I've got time to make up. Put me in, coach. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Anne says sounds good.
All right, people. Again, this is Death's Door.
I don't know what changed.
It's a game about reaping souls and doing our job, because we like doing our job a little bit, sort of. And our job, as I said, is to reap souls, because we just, I keep repeating myself in this lovely manner. But yeah, so we just kind of start off. It's pretty simple. We're just going to go talk to Chandler the handler, and Chandler's going to say, "Hey, yo, dog, you need to go reap this giant soul, because that's your job." And we learned basically this audio. We basically learned that as a crow, we are immortal unless we're on the job. So basically, while we're on an assignment, do not quit out of the game. While we're on assignment, we become mortal, so that's like incentive for us to be able to kill something very quickly, right? So all we're going to do is go through this tutorial here. We're going to skip it real fast by shooting an arrow through a wall, and we're going to go fight the what's it called again? Oh my god, the demonic forest spirit. Yeah, they're going to fight the demonic forest spirit. The demonic forest spirit is kind of a reskin from the Vine Thesis boss fight in Titan Souls, but just a not the exact same thing. So it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to do a heavy attack and then 1-2 hits basically as our main form of DPS for most of the game. Pretty simple. Just kind of this boss is relative, like, it's simple in general because all you do just have to hit it and it dies. Nothing really crazy, no special attacks or anything. But as we're about to claim the soul, we get bonked on the back of the head by some big old mean dude. Not really sure why he did that. He could be nice, but I mean, we might meet him, we might not. I don't know. It seems like that's kind of the point of the game, is we're gonna go find him. But I really have no idea. Because what do I know about this game? More or less.
We don't know
so through that, we kind of learned that it's reiterating the fact that if you hit the thingy, things go down. There's the Great Crow. I just kind of gave away his name, but that's fine. Oh no, spooky. So we're on our way to meet the Grey Crow, maybe. And so first things first, we got to activate door. You might have noticed earlier that a door got activated for us automatically. Anytime a door gets activated, it acts as our most recent checkpoint. It acts as our most recent checkpoint, so we'll be using that a lot, basically, to quit out and save ourselves a lot of walking time, basically. So one thing we also learn is that for most combat, like arenas, there's like a forced amount of combat that you have to go through to unlock doors, or these gates, basically, so that you can proceed. And so really, this is like the last time we're going to see that in the entire game. So it's kind of crazy that we get something introduced to us right away, and then we just ignore it for literally the rest of the time. So we grab that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're just a few seconds away from this no longer looking like the glitchless category. Up until now, it's been pretty straightforward gameplay, and
we take off our training wheels, and then we start to fly in a sort of not fly manner, because we are a crow. All right, that's not going to work. Dang it! That bat is not being friendly. Come here, buddy. I just need you to hit me, except in the way that I want you to hit.
So one of the things with some of the glitches early in this game, while Foxy's getting this set up, is there's a little bit of RNG factored into it, because you are relying on enemies' responses to your positioning to kind of knock you through this barrier here. So the setup is fairly consistent. Oh, there it is. Setup's fairly consistent, but it is a little reliant on someone else doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So not 100%.
It's pretty simple to pull off. Like you could go home and do that in your free time. Basically. And so this is the Guardian of the Door. I like to think of this as like an Alexander boss in Final Fantasy, although the devs themselves kind of mentioned that this isn't what they kind of envisioned it as for the most part. But I can create my own canon. I'm speedrunning this game. I don't care. I do what I want.
We own your game now.
Sorry, Acid Nerve. But yeah, so that's like the fun reference for me. Speaking of Alexander and Final Fantasy, I'll be running Final Fantasy X tomorrow evening. So if you guys want to join for that, that'd be very nice. It's going to be a very late run. Sin, we could probably. I was just thinking about it. If you're willing to go to bed at night and just let the stream go into pure chaos, you could probably hit a donation incentive just eventually during the run to just turn off the cutscene mod and just end up doing however many hours of the run. You know what I mean? But it's probably not a good idea because it'll be like 4 in the morning by the time I get done with the run, basically. So yeah. So there we just did a little sequence break. You're supposed to have the flame spell to open up this like cauldron, basically to bring down this ladder. So we are skipping the first area, basically, of the game and going straight to like the precursor to the third area. And what we're going to be doing is unlocking the last magic spell in the game, which is the hook shot. And basically that's going to allow us to break everything and kind of really just go out of bounds. Not go out of bounds, but just kind of like do everything out of order. Because we are basically going to be doing reverse boss order for all this, basically. So what I just performed is called an arc, an air roll cancel, basically by strong attacking and then basically allowing the distance of the strong attack to carry me over a ledge. I can roll on air, and it allows me to just get over some of these gaps where I would normally need to unlock the hookshot spell. So what we're doing now is actually going and fighting the thing that gives me the upgrade to the hookshot spell. And oh god, I died. Oh no. That's fine though. Kind of baiting you guys. I get like worse and worse with the bait every time because like I'm less into it, I guess. I don't know. But basically, we die on purpose there because it only takes a couple seconds for me to get a free 100 souls, which you'll see in the bottom right of the screen, which I'll need for later to have not a very specific, but a like the correct amount of souls that I want for stat-wise coming up on to do some other skips in the game. So we're done with that, and now as I come back into the game, I've unlocked the upgraded version of the hookshot spell. So if you look at the top left portion of the screen, you can see that I have like a diamond-shaped I guess not interaction, but like menu sort of where the top is the bow and then the bottom is highlighted. So that is the spell itself. If I move off of the spell, I actually lose it until I regain it. So I would actually have to, it's basically a hard lock and I have to, like, the run is dead. I cannot get the spell back until I unlock it, which basically would require me to go through the entire game again, which is not what we want to do in a speedrun. So let's not do that. Yeah, like just don't even like you are forced to reset at that point. But yeah, but yeah. So now we're actually going to the Witch's Estate, which is like the first actual area of the game, because we want to pick up a set of items or weapons called the Rogue's Daggers. The Rogue's Daggers are going to be our speediest weapon, as well as are going to be able to make us do a lot more cool arcs, basically, throughout the game. So, because it basically gives you the heavy attack has a good acceleration, and then because of that acceleration, you get a lot more distance with your arcs, as well as you can basically cheat the game into going a lot faster than you can. So right now we're rolling because that's the fastest form of movement, but at this point we're kind of just chilling out, collecting orbs, just kind of taking our time here. We really don't have any enemies to fight except for the very last portion of this. So I guess if there's any donations to read, we can do that now.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
getting us started, as it were. And it's now that it's a good time to remind chat that Green Gaming is a speedrunning event to save the planet. Every year we will choose a charity that is looking to make an impact on our climate crisis. We only have one planet to live on, and we should do what we can to make sure that we can coexist. This year we've decided to support One Tree Planted, where every $1 plants one tree, and anyone who's ever had to buy timber knows that is an insanely good deal for a bit of tree. So please do get your money in and help this fantastic cause.
Yeah, thank you.
With that
So yeah, what we just did there is it's called pot skip, or so we're going over and trying to avoid talking to our friendly neighborhood pothead, because talking to him is slow and we don't want to worry about it. So so talking to him would be a lot. He's basically like the Katarina Knights from Dark Souls. This game has a lot of cool references. It's based on like a Zelda type game, but 2D action RPG sort of deal. Not 2D, isometric. I say 2D because it's not Dark Souls, and I can't control the camera, really. But yeah, yeah, you control it. It's interesting.
Time.
But so we avoid talking to him, and so thanks to having the hookshot spell, we can kind of just like make our way around nice and easy, pick up some more orbs. What I did with that pot there is basically by rolling after a heavy attack, it can just kind of let you roll up onto the pot, which allows us to get on the hedge. We can do an arc, and then we can skip having to do an entire combat section, and we can just mosey on. So
I'm not sure if you mentioned when you were picking up the orbs, but those orbs give us soul points that can be used for upgrades. Obviously, you also get souls from killing enemies. You also get souls when you die, which is an interesting mechanic compared to other like Soulsborne games.
You don't lose your souls when you die is the main thing. So yeah, you don't lose your souls, which is very nice, very convenient. But yeah, so what we're going to do now basically is instead of again going through a bunch of combat to unlock the rogue's daggers, we are just going to use our friendly neighborhood archer and kind of roll and let them lift us up onto this hedge. So basically, archers, when they try to attack you, they point their bow down at the ground, and then that's not good. Hello. Oh no, get out of the way. All right, they point their bow down at the ground. Sometimes with the hookshot, it can cause you to like skip through enemies, which is what happened there twice in a row. But they lower their, like I said, bow close to the ground, and then they're able to literally lift you up, and it's just high enough that we can get on this hedge and skip everything. So, and there's Pothead with his classic hole sound. This is the only time we talk to him because we are actually forced to. He's talking about how he's helping us go through and defending us from the enemies that are coming in while there are no enemies coming in. But hey, let the man think that he's doing something cool, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, so. We'll come back to him later. Now we're about to break the game even more wide open. We're going to talk to Darwin here. So we're going to go unlock 2 strength, which is basically going to carry us through these next few combat sections. And then at the end of this, we'll have unlocked the full hookshot spell, right? So now we have the daggers, and we can do something called zoomies, if I can do it correctly, or going fast. I don't know. Dagger dashes is one thing. Oh god, these are horrible. Oh, by the way, this guy, he's Ball Plart, head of security. I should point that out. For some reason, anytime that was like one of the first things I noticed with this game is that dude's name is Ball Plart. I guess shout outs to Kevin James, even though I really hate that movie. But like everybody I talked to that played this game was like, I had no idea his name was Paul Blart, and I'm like, bro, you need to please pay attention to the NPC names. They are important. Maybe.
So the very first NPC we talked to is Chandler the Handler.
Yeah. All right. There we go. So that's a dagger dash. It's not a very good one, but you'll see it like I'm, just kind of moving forward at faster speed than I would with just rolling. I rolled off there on accident. That's no big deal. So now we're about to get chomped by this Avarice, which again, another reference to Titan Souls. Y'all should play that game. Also, Devolver Digital game along with this one. So that pack that we've been plugging basically is pretty good. And I think it includes this game. So oh god, my controller's not working. I don't know what's happening. Oh wait, okay, we're good. Okay. Oh no, this is bad. There's too many enemies. Okay, well.
This game really likes to find unique ways to ruin runs.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Was once you enter Avarice, you don't get control anymore.
Yeah, no, that was another bait. So basically, by dying there on purpose, we unlock. We get forcibly sent back to Castle Lockstone, which is like the precursor of the third. It's the start of the third area basically.
It's like the dungeon before Avarice.
Yeah, exactly. And so whereas where we picked up the hookshot spell is cut up just like the entryway to it, this is like really the beginning of the dungeon. And so now we unlock this door so that when we now go to unlock the true hookshot spell, we'll actually go back and go through that area. Which the main reason that we do reverse boss order in this run, as we've been mentioning, is because, funnily enough, while the bosses do go up, it is an RBO game. So while the bosses do go up in difficulty for the run itself, they actually go down in health. So the third boss has the lowest health, I believe, at 60 hit points. The second boss has 80, and I believe Grandma, which is the first boss, has 120. So it just makes it really convenient that we have lower stats for the third boss, and we kind of work our way up so that we can just kill them all faster. So now I'm actually going to do the Avarice fight. If there's anything you want to talk about, Happy, that you think I've missed, feel free.
Yeah, I was just going to mention when you were talking about reverse boss order, the difficulty in a casual playthrough very much comes from changes in the boss's like timings being harder to figure out. So they're, like you said, much more difficult bosses later in the game. But when we are speedrunning and have strats we can use on every boss, that difficulty curve really becomes more about who's got the most health. And so by putting the bosses in reverse order, we get you get a lot of souls from boss kills, and then we can use those for more upgrades for more damage on later bosses to kill them faster. And so that's also the reason that we collect those souls. You might notice a couple of the orbs. Foxy went a little bit out of his way to pick up orbs. Those little detours end up saving us time because of strength upgrades. So it's a give and take in the routing of go out of your way a little bit, but then kill everything twice as fast later.
Yep, exactly. So it's very much so a learning game, as you would expect in like a typical Souls, sense of like the bosses are all unique. They all have very varying like attacks and stuff like that. You got to learn them and get used to them, right? So that's really what the difficulty is just getting used to that and have more variance and like how you can handle those things. So yeah, one thing you may have noticed is that there were like these like green orbs coming at me. I was using those orbs to basically do damage back to enemies. It's kind of like in Zelda when you think about the Ganon fights where you're like they shoot like a fireball at you and you hit it back at them and you kind of bounce it back and forth until you go through the damage. So it's the exact same concept, except basically whenever you hit an orb back and it hits an enemy, it does your double of your strength stat damage. So that your strength stat is combined with like the actual attack power of the weapon that you're holding, as well as whether it's a light attack or a strong attack.
Is something glitching out? Why'd you roll off 4 times there?
Oh yeah. I just like dying. It's really fun.
It's called Death's Door.
It's called Death's Door. We die a lot. Okay, it's fine. So basically, right there, like I mentioned with like the other stuff, we're using doors as like major portions of checkpoints. So basically, by purposely dying there, I get sent immediately back to the closest door, which was the Castle Lockstone door. There we go. That is way closer than having to run all the way back from the Avarice boss fight, actually. So that was the purpose of the death there. Here, we're immediately running and using... I have to have enough stats. I have to specifically have Dex 1 to be able to get onto these ledges or these fences to skip these fences. So to get on these ledges, these fences ledges, to skip these gates. There we go. That's a better way to say that. And so I can basically do a funny input of rolls mixed with strong attacks, and I have to use mouse and keyboard for this.
Very precise angles.
Yeah, it's like so weirdly precise of a trick. That like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain to people. And so basically I'm just aiming at certain points and then trying to get like basically a distance plus like timing set up to get myself onto this. And then the gates themselves are actually very precarious. Like they are very thin when you think they would be a lot, easier to walk on. So if I'm being pretty whatever, oh, that's great. Okay, taking no damage there is actually really great. And just extremely nice. Like that was actually a pretty solid set of fences to get to. Like, yeah,
honestly, like second
once yeah, like that's pretty. I'll take that. I will gladly take that at the end of the day. So yeah, all right, cool. So now we're gonna do Avarice Run. We're gonna unlock the flame spell.
You might notice we switch back to sword as well for Avarice. Is fighting's faster with sword?
Yeah, it just does more damage. Yeah, like.
I either lost you for a second or you stopped mid-sentence.
I stopped talking.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good. I'm sorry.
Like, and I'm like, yeah, what's up?
I got really focused. It just has more damage. The sword has 1 damage like multiplier, whereas the daggers have I think it's 0.6. Mm-hmm. But you also do. It's a 3-hit combo with the sword, and then it's a 6-hit combo with the daggers, but the chances that you get off a 6-hit combo are very rare, so it's just better to, get more damage and less hits, basically.
Sure. Yeah, and you might notice as we're going through this Avarice fight, it's these spawns where these pink doors spawn and enemies come out, those are scripted. Every single time you do an Avarice fight or an arena fight in the game, those are exactly the same. But enemy behavior is reliant on a lot of factors. Some of it's RNG, some of it's based on your position relative to the enemy, etc., etc. So the spawns are consistent, but there's a lot of thinking on your feet and responding in these fights. So this is very skill-based combat you're seeing. It's not just do the same thing every single time and it's always going to work. This is just
you certainly manipulate like kind of how you want to progress the starts of these fights in the Avarices, because like Happy said, with the doors spawning, but at the end of the day, enemies themselves are very random, very much so like to kind of gank you a lot. So as long as you can your enemy management's good, then and you kind of learn how to force them into, there we go, I thought it was weird, force them into like the positions that you want, that helps a lot. So heavy attacks also like stun enemies, so if they're in the middle of an attack animation, that is a good way to stun them. So now again, we're killing ourselves to jump back to the Castle Lockstone door, and now we're going to go through a quick portion of like we're actually going to go through Castle Lockstone, which doesn't actually have any combat in it, or at least for what we're going to be doing. So if there's anything to talk about with what do you call it, like at least the marathon itself, or donations, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. So I will remind people that there are milestones to achieve. Now, we've got some regular ones in here. We're about $14 away, which is, that's a meal at a restaurant. That's nothing. Away from our first milestone, which is just, great job. We planted 200 trees. That means 800 people can breathe by estimates of oxygen. But we do have a few estimates which do things. So, at $1,500, we will be seeing Mario Party in normal mode, which will be something else. And at $2,500, we will be changing some text on screen to Comic Sans. You can see all of these milestones on the Tiltify page. Press exclamation point donate in chat whenever you feel a little bit generous. Back to you.
You should feel generous all the time.
For Mario Party. How do you speedrun Mario Party? I want to find out.
It's pure RNG. that's all I can think of. Actually, I grew up playing very little Mario Party. I think the first time I actually played Mario Party, I was like 17 years old.
Oh wow.
Maybe I was probably closer to 20. So, and considering that was like 8 years ago, that's a little sad. But yeah, so what we're doing now, as you can see, is we're basically just like lighting these torches. This is kind of akin to what I would say is the the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time, where you're trying to kill the four Poes to unlock the flames to get the elevator to go down. Whereas instead, our elevator is going to go up. So we're just kind of running around, taking it easy. Really, the biggest thing here is movement. Honestly, hitting arcs isn't too hard. It's really something that you could probably do in your free time once you kind of learn the inputs. Oops, that's not good. Hello. Oh, that's good. Oh, I haven't done that in a while. Usually on that third one, I like to use the bow because you can shoot through those walls for some reason. Like, they exist, but they don't. It's like they only exist to block you, nothing else. Like, it's kind of weird. But that's good for us.
So basically those hookshot puzzles that he was solving right there, those walls don't track projectile collision, but they track body collision. But if your hookshot meets up with something, you don't have collision while you're moving to the hookshot. So there are some other places we use that in other categories to like jump to enemies and not get hit by things, and sometimes in arenas you might see us like hookshot through to not take damage, but there the hookshot doesn't have collision with the wall, and once the hookshot hits the other side, we don't have collision with the wall, so we get to just go right on through.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know. This game is just so much fun. Like I would say this is probably one of my favorite games of 2021, just casually and speedrunning wise. Like it's just such a like I feel like underrated masterpiece. Like the music is absolutely amazing. The combat's really fun. This like walls are fake. The combat's really fun. The humor is great. Like I feel like there's just so much like little like fun humor in this that just like anytime I was actually playing the game, I was laughing like while I was reading some of the dialogue. It was just a great time. So if there's a reason to donate money for the Devolver Digital like thing, this game might just be it. Personally, I think Devolver comes out with lots of great stuff, but this is like I love this game so much.
Oh, I love this game. And I know everyone says this in every marathon about every game, but the community really is incredible. If you have played this game and want to learn the speedrun, it is surprisingly easy to learn some of the routes, and easily the most active, helpful community of all the games I've joined Discords for and learned.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's like, I mean, there's been people in there since like almost day one, basically, like figuring out tech, and like those people are still there hanging out, like figuring out absolutely insane things that like even me, like I've been running this since about a month after this game came out, and like which is almost it'll be a year in August, I think. But like, yeah, it's absolutely insane. Like just like how much they find and how much they're able to pull off, and I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm ever doing any of that. But you know, like they can do it, and like that's like that. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Like it's just such a fun game. So and it's easy enough to learn too.
Buying it for my friends.
Yeah,
I bought like 3 copies of Death's Door for other people at this point.
Yeah, you're just doing the Lord's work. It's fine. Yeah. So now we're into the old watchtowers, which is very scary because one thing we haven't mentioned yet is that I've been doing all these arcs, right, and it's been pretty chill. Like it's I'm not like super concerned about what's happening or anything, right? But one thing I've yet to mention is that if we're up here in voids, right? So like if I fall, I just kind of fall into nothing, right? So if you arc over a void, you soft lock the game. You have to Alt F4 out of the game because it just locks you. Like you can't control the crow. You're kind of stuck in the fact that, you're in the arc. So that's a first mess up of the day. Oh God, no! All right, at least we killed that guy. All right, 2 HP in a dream. Let's go. There we go. So yeah, so
going into Ice Arena.
You're going into Ice Arena. It'll be okay. 1 HP in a dream. Let's go. Going into Ice Arena. All right.
So we're probably going to complain about Ice Arena a couple times before it's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
For reference, if there is a death here, it is not Foxy. It is the split notes for this game say die multiple times to Ice Arena and then go to the next step. So
yeah. All right. This is bad. All right. All right. There we go. This is already not going well.
Yeah, so this is probably the hardest arena in the game. I'm going to try and talk as much as I can so you can focus on Ice Arena because it sucks.
Yeah.
So you have arenas throughout the game like this. They unlock different areas. They, block off your progression periodically. And similar to the Avarice fights, those doors and enemy spawns are the same every single time, but enemy behavior is still, RNG, like we were talking about. But Ice Arena makes it even more fun because there is ice physics on all of the bottom level, and then that middle platform all have ice physics. So you get to do your usual dealing with arena combat.
No!
And
I clipped through the wall. I think I did this, like, the only other time that's happened, I think, has been in another marathon. No, actually, I'm lying. That was in my casual playthrough. So that's fine. That kind of sucks. I have to do all that again. But oh my god,
I didn't even know you could clip there.
Yeah. Okay,
is that
I'm
the
just
daggers only thing?
No, it's basically like because I was falling through, like, because I was falling. You can still technically enemies still have hitboxes under them a little bit. So because of the under him hitbox, I hit him with the hook shot, but that basically caused me to hook shot into nothing because what do you call it? like, you know, obviously you like we mentioned earlier, like walls don't exist when you're hookshotting through things, and I just all right, so we got an Alt F4. This is going absolutely terribly. All right, stupendously terribly. It's
First
wonderful.
try,
You guys are getting wonderful content here, by the way. I hope you're enjoying this. You should really do to,
I will say, I think this, like, these issues, though, do highlight something I really love about this game and the speedrun for this game is it's a pretty low barrier to entry. Like, if you want to learn the speedrun, it took me, I think, 3 days of just watching someone else run it and copying what they did to be able to do my first run. But the skill ceiling is very, very high. There are so many things to master. I mean, even the people at the very, very top of all the leaderboards have like deaths and major mistakes in some of their runs. Like there's you can play this game 1,000 times and still have some optimization to do, which is I think
there's so much to do. Yeah, like it's absolutely insane. Game's freaking out a little bit. There we go. All right. So you get 2 Alt F4s. Excuse the pink on the screen.
At least it's a
sorry,
nice color of pink.
Yeah, nice hot pink. But yeah. Let's see. All right. This is the most trouble I've had with this in a while. I actually, fun fact, I PB'd yesterday and got a 5430. So that felt really good, but at the same time, now that this is happening, it's kind of I think it's what do you call it? It's probably some form of karma getting back at me, being like, oh, sucker, you thought you'd be fine for the marathon. You PB'd. Yeah.
Congrats on the PB.
No, thank you.
I had to go to work before you finished the run, so I didn't catch it.
That is all right. But yeah, so this is going well.
It's going as well as Watchtowers goes. This
Yeah.
split is hard in pretty much every category. So.
Oh no, the game is freezing. Like I don't know why, but like a lot of my Steam games lately have been basically just freezing all the time or like skipping a lot. So I'm not sure what it is. I think it's maybe my controller. I need to get a new what do you call it? Come on.
Gamepad?
Gamepad? Yeah, it's definitely my controller. Issues lately with like my controller basically like not connecting correctly. And the like one thing that is pretty annoying about this game overall is the controller support. It does work just fine with Steam controller support, but like the controller connection sometimes can be a little funky. So like loading into the game, like you kind of have to just sit there and wait for the controller to be like, oh yeah, the controller's connected, and you're like, well yeah, it's been connected the entire time. But like
that'll happen sometimes as well when you save and quit as part of the route. You'll save and quit out and then just sort of.
What is happening right now? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do real fast, just to save us time because this keeps happening. I'm gonna turn on the debug.
Fair.
I
was about to start talking about the debug, and I forgot who made it. Is it Museus?
I think it's Museus. Yeah, it's been a while since they made it.
Museus, if they're the one who made it.
Yeah.
But we have a really nice practice tool debug mod made by a member of the community that you will see when it comes up. Where basically we can see enemy health. We can bring ourselves to certain spawn points. It's just really. Yeah,
I'm not going to use it to cheat health or anything, but just because I've done like I don't know what's going on. I think it might just be like the game. It's like I've probably got too much stuff going on my computer right now because like I keep. There we go. I keep failing the same skip, and sometimes when like my computer acts a little funny, that's kind of the issue that I see. Is that like I just need to close things out or like restart Steam or something like that. So that's just it's just going to save time. So yeah, sorry, I'm getting kind of annoyed about how like poorly I'm performing right now. All right, come here, bud. But yeah, so apologies for like the. Oh my god, dude. This is going so spectacularly bad. Wow. Okay. This is about the worst I've done on this in probably about like I don't know, like probably since like last year almost. So
Whoa.
oh, five gets a
Quick
quick
shout
shout
out.
out.
Try
Yeah, Try Girl. I saw that tier 3 sub and a 5 gifted sub.
Five
5
gifts?
gifts. Wow, thank you so much. Single-handedly supporting the entire charity. Let's go.
So while you're getting caught up here, do we have any donations? This might be a good time.
Yeah.
Indeed, we do. So I will tell you that we have received $20 from the very generous Rivers, who says, "Have some greens to keep the planet green." Very much a good sentiment that all people in chat should be following. Plug, plug, plug. Make your donations known. That goes towards the Shenmue 2 Duck Racing Challenge and the Metroid Save Frames or Save the Animals polls, going for Save the Animals. Catching up a little bit towards saving the frames. Let's see how that develops over the next day. Back to you.
All right. So we're actually in the ice tuner now, which is great.
Heck yeah. See, all we had to do was talk about saving the planet,
Yeah.
and the game was like, all right,
fine.
It's for a good cause.
It's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know. Personally, I noticed that, like, whenever I'm doing like runs, like, if something like weird happens or like one thing goes wrong, it's kind of just like, yeah, just like, yeah, you're gonna be stuck here for a while, but have a nice time.
Now, question for you, Foxy. Did you know that if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free subscription each month to any Twitch channel?
I almost died. Yeah, sorry, I am. So these enemies
No,
are the
you're
most
fine.
like tough enemies in the game because they will end your run because they feel like it. Hammer Bros. Yeah, they. Oh wow, they will absolutely annihilate your run because it's a Tuesday. I don't know, like that sort of thing. Like,
Yep.
yeah, they're
The timing is very consistent on Hammer Bros. The hitbox isn't
Yeah.
always. So sometimes your timing will be perfect, but you just happen to roll directly into where they decided to put the hitbox.
you're just
and
and you're like, oh great, yeah, it's cool. I didn't want to be damageless, you know, it's cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna focus here while I do this Betty. It's not a cheese. It's
Yeah,
if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, you can talk through the strat. So, yeah, not really a cheese. It's like you could fairly easily do this in a casual run if you wanted to learn it. But basically, the kill for Betty here, you'll see she's punching the ground, and if we roll pretty much right in time with the punch, and then do a roll slash, so hold the like power slash button as we're rolling. We can do that 3 times, and then if we charge a slash on the 4th one, when she jumps, we stay right in front of her. So we can just pretty much keep doing that forever. By doing that in the right position and getting her to turn the right way, we are able to skip one of her phases. We don't always get the skip, but we did today, which is great. So there is a phase where she will roll that loses quite a bit of time. But you can skip that and just keep doing the 1, 2, 3, 4 combo, and then she dies.
It's simple to execute. It's simple to like do, but it's hard to fully execute the entire thing because the hardest thing is the charge attack. Basically, you charge while she's leaping at you, and the leap itself somehow like it keeps the hitbox under you, but you have to do a full charge basically. Of the charge attack, so there's like a little like sound cue basically that that goes off when you hit it, and trying to time that along as well as like hit the what do you call it? The one attack that you need to do to basically hit the damage cap is pretty tough to make sure you get it right to do everything all at once. So yeah, very simple like idea, but the execution can be a little rough. So it's a very interesting fight, but good to get it. I thought I didn't get it actually because I thought I missed one of the sound cues, but
when she jumped for,
I think it was the second.
like the snow.
Yeah, I thought so too,
Ball's
but she
coming
didn't.
down.
So
I
I was
thought
like,
she
okay,
was
here we go. 'Cause I knew I was at least like one hit off, basically, or one damage point off.
Oh.
So also got we got Anxious Crow. So yeah, if you do a zoomie into a cutscene, basically, the like the game tries to keep your speed basically, and kind of keep you moving, but like it can't like it tries to put you back in the same spot, so you just end up going in a circle. So it's a fun little thing. It doesn't do anything actually to like except like set RNG basically is the best way to say it.
Also, you started talking about it earlier, but then had something happen and had to focus on the game. But zoomies, how do they work?
Oh yeah, so zoomies, yeah. So as you can see, the crow is zoom in because animals get zoomies. And so what I'm doing basically, and now the solars look a little weird because I had the debug on. I can actually turn that back off now because like there really aren't any more voids in the rest of the game. But there's really no point in me doing it. Oh, I missed that too. That's the second time. All right. But basically, as you load or do the attack, the strong attack for the daggers, if you pause and then reattach the daggers, basically, it causes you to keep the acceleration that is given to you through the attack once you re-equip them, and then that forces you to go forward in that really fast amount. So yeah, that's basically it. It's really fast. It's the best form of movement. It's a little difficult to pull off sometimes, but overall, it's like a lot of fun. Pretty simple to do. I'm also getting kind of mixed up because sometimes switching through it and not can be a little fun. But yeah, so like there's a really good zoomie. Typically, so you'll notice after I'm like rolling that I'm doing an attack. That's because of the zoomie basically, or the rolling zoomie. It gives me an extra attack when I roll. And then basically, if you have a zoomie queued up, or if you have that attack queued up and do it at the same time, it can give you really big speed boosts. All right, that's not good. So all we did there basically is we skipped the entire the swamp area basically of the game just by doing a simple out of bounds, and then luckily for us, the end of the mushroom dungeon, which is like the it's sort of the castle lockstone of the second area, where although it does have enemies. We can just like the end of it is just right there at the edge of the world, so we can kind of just zoomie off of it. So we need to zoomie because we need enough speed to land in it correctly, and then yeah. But you do want to be careful. You don't want to go too fast, and you need to be kind of central in your location when you're doing it, because as you notice, there's a doorway there. So if you go too fast, you can actually literally just fly off of the world, which is fine. It just resets you back to where you were, but it's a weird time loss. So yeah.
Yeah, Foxy.
So now we're running through.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, you mentioned it's sort of the castle lockstone of this area. Basically, the way the three areas of the game are separated is there's like an intro level of each area, and then part 1 of the dungeon that gets you to Avarice or the big chest or the treasure, a la Zelda. Then part 3 of that area where you make your way to and fight the boss. So right now we're on part kind of 2.5. We're
2.5.
Mostly on part 3.
Yeah.
The Frog Kings area. That skip allowed us to skip all of parts 1 and 2.
Yep. Exactly. And there's always a little section where there's no combat, or like there's like the combat is just you kind of running up through things. So yeah. So yeah, the guy whistled for the Frog King to tell us like, he's gonna get you, bud, and then he just sits on the dude that whistled because he's kind of dumb. And he went to the whistle instead of where he was supposed to go. So yeah. So now we're going through the Flooded Fortress. Usually Flooded is like the RNG hell out of the run, really. But I guess today Watchtower has decided that it needed to be mean to me and do that. So I need to wait here because... Oh, okay. Okay. This is just... Today is just going well. Let me tell you. Today is just going very well. All right, buds. We're gonna casually. This is gonna be What is happening, my guy? Oh my goodness, Sin. I apologize, man. I'm probably going overestimate. This is the first time I've ever gone. Probably will go overestimate in a marathon that I've ever been in, and that makes me very sad. I had a very good track record, especially with this game too. Um,
This game likes to ruin estimates.
yeah, like this is about the worst that I've ever done in this, which is very sad considering my previous history. But yeah, so basically, I'm just like too far back, I guess. Like, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty specific hitbox on that. I mean, you look at it, and your first thought would probably be, why is there even collision with that thing? So
This is nice though. There we go.
Collision's a little specific.
Yeah, I was definitely just too far away. So one thing I mentioned earlier is like there is like what do you call it? You need to be a certain distance away from like a ledge, basically, because it is the fact that you are like on the edge of the ledge, basically, that gives you the roll. So I can kind of fix this, even though I'm like really low health. Ah!
And so you might have noticed there's a lot of these walls that kind of glow every now and again with the little green light. Those walls are for the bomb spell. We're supposed to break through them with the bomb spell. You should have the bomb by the time you get here. But because we have completely ignored the intended order of the game, we just skip over all of those bomb walls here with various arcs and enemy manipulation.
Yeah. So this part is a little RNG because the whizzes themselves, which are the enemies that are firing these bullets at me, kind of just show up where they want. It seems like there's some sort of way that they determine where they're going to show up, but at the same time, it is just extremely random. So there is a way to make it not random, but which would be to like basically do a very specific arc. Okay, game. I press the button. All right. There we go. But yeah, you can perform an arc basically. Right to, like if you do the angle correctly, but it's very hard to pull off and very finicky, and so I just kind of avoid it myself. There we go. And there's one more whiz here, and there we go. All right, 1 damage there is actually pretty good overall. Really not upset about that at all, especially because so usually you would use the seed. So we didn't mention this earlier, but I picked up a seed in the Witch's Estate. You're just gonna have to believe me on this one, chat. I picked up a seed, and basically how seeds work, it's kind of just like an Estus Flask, where it's like it's a heal, right? But instead of the heal being with you, the heal is what do you call it? Oh yeah, King of the Swamp, Guardian of the Fortress, Lord of his domain, ruler of Barry's Surveys, champion of the people, keeper of the 5 bows, first of his name, second of his other name, he was without middle initial or mercy, story of all who would question his rightful rule or look at him askance, eater of the vanquished, blah, 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 something of the indolent, guzzler of the non-committal. Yeah, he's got a very funny title. You should look it up. We did hit an incentive to read that out, but I don't know where Sin is at the moment. It's probably like panicking because I'm going to go overestimate. Basically, we use that seed to just like kind of mitigate the RNG of like just how tough some of the things can be with this area basically, because flooded is pretty rough. But yeah, so hopefully the Frog King fight will be pretty simple. I did a little under damage there. Under damage just a little bit there.
For those who donated to that incentive, the last segment is Bestower of Wrathful, Opprobrium, and Fount of Most Wondrous Beneficence. All glory to him and his mace. Holy basher of toads, not frogs, but really what are toads anyway? They're like worse frogs, right? Uglier too. Smartest creature in all the land. Really clever, like that Einstein guy, but more handsome. And okay, we hit the word count.
Yeah. We were talking about the comedy in this game earlier, and like it's just like I don't know, it's just like the little things like that just kind of pile on and really make it kind of worth it at the end of the day. So that was a pretty good fight. The best fight you can get basically is killing him while the second time he jumps over. So he does the suck attack and then he does the bombs. But I did under damage a little bit for the most part there. on the first kind of set of phases. So that's my fault. But otherwise, it went pretty well. I can't really complain about that. So now we're actually going into like the first area of the game, which is going to be the urn, which is the I forget what it's called. Not the castle. It's the estate manor. Thank you. Urn, which is the Urn Manor or Ceramic Manor. Oh my God, it's been a while. Like I said, so now we're going to Ceramic Manor. But the funny thing is so you're supposed to not have the flame spell when you go through this the first time, but we have the flame spell, so it doesn't really matter.
So we can kind of skip the part 2 of this dungeon. Part 1 was the very first thing we did. We skipped part 2, and then part 3 is this downstairs area.
Yeah.
And something kind of mean that we do in this game because of the reverse boss order and everything is one of the very first things that we did was let our friend Pothead into the manor, where eventually he was recaptured by the Urn Witch, and you'll see him in like a vat of goo in a second because he was captured.
Yeah.
And then we left. We did some other stuff for like 45 minutes, and now we're finally back to fix that we got him stuck in a pot of goo.
Yeah. And his grandma is like the Urn Witch is his grandmother who has captured him. So we just let him get captured by his grandma and said, "Peace, sayonara. We'll see you later." So feel a little bit bad for Pothead because sorry, bud. We got things to do, other people to kill. We'll be back, I swear. So we are coming back. But yeah, so going through this, it's pretty simple. This is also kind of like the 0.5 that we mentioned before, where like there's no combat here. It's just kind of like showing you, kind of going through things, nothing too crazy. So
good time for donations.
Yeah, donations or talk about the marathon.
Indeed it is, and we've got a meaty donation to talk about. To the tune of $70. Shout out to Try for that one. They say, what's the point of saving the forest if there's no animals to live in them? However, while that was meant to go to the bid war for Metroid, it appears tragedy. The bid was made, but the button wasn't pushed. It's a tragedy. We're going to have to see if there's a post-it note or something we can stick to our dashboards to make sure we remember that, but make sure you push the buttons when you do your donation.
Somebody else is just going to have to donate $70.
Yeah, I suppose that'll just have to be it.
Pick up the slack, people. This is a community effort. So donate $70, everybody. $70 hype train. Let's go. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah. De facto, there is Save the Frames taking advantage by $45. However, we'll know our little secret that actually it's the animals who have the advantage. Back to you.
But yes, thank you very much for that wonderful donation. All right. But yeah, so we're
all the subs and gift subs. It's incredible.
But yeah, so now we're actually going through the combat section of this area, where we have to like not get hit by a bomb. We have to use the flame spell to like activate these furnaces, which are going to allow us to like actually go places with the what do you call it? Well, that's a bad Zumi. It allows us to go places with these lifts, basically. The fun thing is, though, if one thing that most people don't notice is that the lifts themselves actually go in time with the music, which is pretty cool. And then we're gonna do another big old skip here.
The composer is also a developer.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Cool. So now we basically skipped half of the level by doing an arc there over this like onto like a little ledge, basically. That allows us to skip like the back half, basically, of the I forget the basement, basically. So it's pretty nice. And we're just going to arc up here one more time. So we don't have to do it everywhere, but it's very nice. So now we're on to Gam Gam, basically, on the last little section. And no damage actually is pretty good. One arc for that is it's kind of an awkward one because you kind of have to do it with mouse and keyboard. And I play the game mostly with controller. So having to switch to MKB sometimes feels a little awkward, but if you like using controller a lot and you want to find consistent setups for the places I've been using mouse and keyboard, please come join the community. We can link the Discord to you, or just go to the speedrun.com page and it's there. And come help out. Like, everybody's really, like, I don't know, like Appy said, it's such a really, it's like such a nice community, honestly, like really helpful people. Lots of very good information, and like we always try to put everything in like very like easy to find places. Can I please? Thank you.
The game doesn't want to be easy for us, so we try to make things easy for each other.
Yes. Oh, dang. So you can hit Grandma with like the projectiles that she throws at you and do heckamondo damage, as the kids say these days. But it can be a little bit awkward sometimes, especially because like she's supposed to spawn like right behind you, but at the end of the day, it can be kind of hard for her to to get it exactly right. But that was actually pretty good. So that last phase there that you kind of just saw barely happen was that she just like kind of spins in a circle and shoots projectiles at you, and you can immediately fire them straight back at her and just do massive damage. So she dies super quickly. It's kind of nutty. Like she typically doesn't even get a full phase. Do not quit to desktop. So I've already been out of the game
one time.
Yeah, man, fighting a boss through a phase, that sounds boring. Like, come on, man, I'm here to speedrun a game, not actually play it. What are you talking about? But yeah.
Yes,
but yeah,
that was our last almost quit to desktop after a boss.
Yeah.
So that's the 3 bosses in the main game.
Yep.
We skipped a cutscene pretty early where you would go talk to the Grey Crow, and Grey Crow tells you that we need to open this door, and the way to do it is to get these 3 souls that are overgrown and have become demonic. And so we go get the 3, and now we're going back to talk to the guy who we should have had a cutscene with.
Yeah, we should have talked to him like way earlier in the game. Like this is the Grey Crow. This is the guy that bonked us on the head, and like we just completely skipped him.
Yeah, normally he would send us on the mission for the whole game, but we just said it's cool. We know what the mission is, and then we finished the mission and came back and we're like, "Hey, we did it." He's like,
"Hey, good job. Who are you?"
Thanks.
yeah. No, but the game just proceeds normally. Like his dialogue doesn't change at all. He's like, "Oh, you did it, Grey Crow or Little Crow, like I told you to do." And you're like, "Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like you told me, just like you told me when you bonked me on the head and I was knocked out." But yeah, now we get
I love
Impatient
getting
Crow.
Crow in that particular cutscene. It's such a good one.
Yeah. It doesn't affect anything. The only thing that sucks is that you got to remember when the Grey Crow fight starts is to roll or do something. Otherwise, you're stuck and you're like, "What's happening? Why am I not moving?" Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna fight him. I'm kidding, by the way.
No, yeah, he's
he's a good guy. He's totally good. He's not gonna be evil at all, ever.
Is there time for one quick donation?
No. Yes, I'm kidding. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So I believe this is meant to be sung, but I have no idea what the tune is, so I'll give it my best shot. Moon shoes, the something anti-gravity shoes, moon shoes. Let's keep the hype going. Find out who I am, I'll donate another $50. Donation goes towards the good-looking guy running the game.
Oh,
Thank
I'm a
you,
cutie.
Anonymous,
Oh.
for $50 there, but another 50 on the way. Does anyone have any clues?
Any clues? Moon shoes. Oh, I don't know anything about moons or shoes.
Oh, it's
Who in the community thinks you're prettiest?
Everybody. That's the problem.
That's fair.
That's it. Everybody.
You are the fine face of the Death's Door community.
The fine foxy face of Feth's 4. All right. So now we're fighting the Grey Crow, because basically he gets told that the Grey Crow's background that you learn is that a long ass time ago in a town called Kickapoo, the Grey Crow was also assigned a soul, but their soul was locked behind the Death's Door, which we name dropped the game, guys. We did it. We did the thing. behind Death's Door, and he thought that by unlocking Death's Door, he would be able to find his soul and become immortal again. Well, come to find out that once the souls hit like this ether area where death has been hidden away, oh man, I hate it when I do that. This fight can be hard, like is hard just in general. But these crow heads are just random in where they spawn. No, they're random in where they spawn. What do you call it? And so sometimes you can just get screwed because like you try to damage, but they just spawn on top of you, and they also home onto you. So you kind of just have to deal with the fact that, you know, there's something random kind of just trying to stop your run even more than usual, basically. So controlling the crow heads as well as like kind of working with the gray crow itself is kind of a nightmare.
All
to deal
made
with.
worse by the fact that you can use the crow heads as projectiles, and as we mentioned, projectiles do bufu damage.
Yeah. So we want projectiles, but we don't want projectiles to hit us.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get that out of the way because I don't want to deal with that. All right.
So, you know, again, one of the perks of this run, I think, one of the annoying but also fun things is, you know, no two fights are going to be the same. So we have strats for all these things, but you do have to, you know, adapt on the fly and actually make decisions and know the game well and practice.
Yeah. We did think for a little while that like if you hit the crow with one, like a set of projectiles, that it would only do damage as if one projectile was hitting, not like the 4 or 5 that you usually do, but it definitely does do multiple instances of damage, as far as I can tell, because I've killed the crow in like 30 seconds before, where I get really good lineups with all of the crow heads. But yeah, so it's something to go for. Like, so yeah, so we got our last upgrade. We have just enough souls to unlock like basically one upgrade. So Dex 2 is the best one. Dex allows us to roll farther and also swing faster. So the damage there, like just the fact that we're going to be swinging faster is really good for this last fight, who is probably the coolest fight in the game, in my opinion. It's certainly a tough fight, but it's just like, oh man, it's hot. It's great.
So the reason that Dex is important, you mentioned you attack a little faster. The way this fight is broken down, there's 3 sort of movement areas after this first area. You're going to see us go through 3 different platforming areas, and each of those is followed up by a sort of boss rush. So it's always the Lord of Doors, but the Lord of Doors is pretending to be one of the bosses we already fought. In each of those boss rush fights, as soon as you hit the Lord of Doors 15 times, they stop what they're doing and open up the next area. So being able to attack a little faster means we can reach that 15 hit cap sooner.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you have full strength upgrades or no strength upgrades, it's 15.
Yeah. I'm just going to take a death here. So basically, in this like gauntlet, basically, so you have the first fight with the Lord of Doors, and that like kind of that rocky outcropping, and then the second fight is the gauntlet, where you do like you have in between each of like the mini fights that Happy was mentioning, you like have these like little gauntlets of just running around, but this entire gauntlet is all like based off of the 1 HP amount, and then once you hit the final fight, then you actually go through and get your health restored. But having 2 health, it can be pretty monka.
Yeah. There's a couple places where we play a little fast and loose with sneaking in the 15th of those 15 hits just in time to get the to skip cycles. And if you don't get it just in time, you're gonna take damage. And so it's better for me to just be safe rather than like trying to mess with 2 HP for something where I could just like, you know, have to redo this entire gauntlet. And we've already wasted a lot of time here, so better to deal with it than not. So you might have also noticed on that last phase, Foxy went through the door before the door existed. Basically, we found out that the doors have a spawn location and a like rest location, and the hitbox follows.
Oh, it's right here, I think.
The door there. So if you're standing in, if you're standing in the spawn location when it spawns, it just triggers the door, even though there's no door yet.
We call it Instadoor. So it's pretty nice. We do have I believe Vorame has a video on it. I think there was one time I was randomly running and like found all three of them in one run, and I was like, oh, no way!
I broke the game wide open.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
because we thought they were like we thought they were like kind of not random, but they'd be harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what? Oh my goodness! I don't think I was standing in the exact right spot. It's been a while since I only started coming back to this game about a week ago. So excuse again my the run and the just all of the memes that have been happening this entire time. But I hope it's been fun and entertaining for people. So it's a fun game, like I said. I can't like speak highly enough for it. So that's the last of it. We're finally in the last portion of the fight. So we're gonna fight the true Lord of Doors, where he like combines everything together into one final run. And so we kind of didn't do any sort of lore drop, but basically we find out that the Lord, the Lord of Doors sealed out the way and caused things to not die. That's how we get the Lord souls that are not the giant souls, not Lord souls. This isn't Dark Souls. That are, Gam Gam, the Frog King, and Betty. And we unseal death, and we get told by other crows who used to work for the organization but left that were like, oh yeah, like it's like whatever, like we need to stop the Lord of Doors, he's evil. Because you come to find out that there's been multiple instances of Lords of Doors, and they have a limited time cap of when they're going to die. But this Lord was like, I'm not going to die, I don't want to die, I'm too cool for that, because he's all chromium and stuff. So
It's the Chrome one that did it.
yeah, it's the chrome finish, honestly.
So this fight,
Yeah,
probably the hardest fight in the game, as you would hope, since it's the last fight. But
Yeah.
specifically because we were talking earlier about how a lot of the quick kills on bosses and a lot of the methods we use to sort of cheese our way through boss fights relies on timings that are very reliable. There are not reliable timings in Lord of Doors. There are timings for each attack, but there are a couple attacks that have the same starting animation, and you don't know until the attack happens which one they're going for. So there's a little bit of having to be really reactive and adaptive, and you can't
so you're not going to see that attack, but it's a giant bubble.
Oh yeah, the big bubble charge.
Yeah.
You don't take damage during the roll, so if you time your roll correctly with a roll slash, you don't get damaged by the bubble.
There you go. And that's time. Sorry. Time.
Sorry, I'm a little behind you. So
No, yeah, you're good. Sorry. Sorry, yeah. So a couple minutes over estimate. Sorry, guys. I really apologize for that. That was just kind of that run was something else, and then the beginning of it was everything. So yeah. So I apologize for all of that. There's nothing I could really do about that. It was just like the game just kind of said no, and then I tried my best to work with it. So, but at least the last portion of the game went pretty well. Like Gam Gam, Grey Crow went pretty good. The Lord of Doors is a great fight. So, yeah. So I don't have too much to say except make sure to donate to Team Green, guys, or like the one tree. Like that's why we're here. Please do. I'll be donating later. I'll be running Final Fantasy X tomorrow night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the cutscene remover mod, so it's only about 4 hours long, depending on RNG and other things, and how well I perform. So please come back for that. We're doing some stuff to, like, basically, what's the best word? Like, there will be incentives to show cutscenes during the game because I can turn off the mod pretty easily and stuff like that. So please come hang out. I'll need people to talk to until like 2 a.m. my time. Otherwise, I'll go absolutely bonkers insane. So hopefully lots of chat interaction there. Happy. Thank you very much for commentating with me. I've done a lot of solo commentary for this game, and having somebody to talk to and kind of just like bounce off of is very nice. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, anything for you. Yeah, so please follow me, Foxy Jira, on Twitch. I stream whenever I feel like it, but it's usually a few times a week. I don't run this as much anymore, but I'm trying to get into other games like it. So yeah, also follow Happy by 3. Been doing my commentary with me here as well. So anything else for you, Happy, before we sign off?
No, yeah, I follow Foxy. Foxy's great. Follow me. I do my best. And if anyone is interested in this game, again, there is a donation incentive for a big old Devolver Digital bundle that includes this game. So donate, try and win that and play this game. And if anyone is interested in speedrunning this game, you can find us through the usual channel. Just head out to speedruns.com, check out our leaderboard. There's a Discord link right there. And